Hey everyone, just a really quick video on changing the windscreen washer pump on an Audi Q3. This is a 2013 model. They run up to 2015, although I think you'll find many models are similar. So the hack, a lot of online message boards say to remove the wheel. You just lock the wheel full left. You remove a number of screws. Very easy. And then this trim here, you just pull away in this direction. You force it out and then bend it back. That gives you enough access there. I'm not sure if you can see it there. That black, this gives you enough access to get in there to the pump. A lot of people say that you need to remove this bottom plastic. No, I'll take a few more shots in a couple of minutes. I'm going to reach in, I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to reach in, wiggle that about, pop it out, put the new one in, and I'll be right back with you. As you can see, I've just pivoted that backwards and popped it up. I just wiggled it until it came up. You can see that the adapters have come off the bottom. I'll clip them onto the new one in a second, just after removing the wiring harness. Depending on how full it is, there's a fair amount of water that will come out. So just make sure you're doing it in an area where that doesn't matter. Okay, so this is going to be one of those funny videos where we cut to a part and say, yep, we got the wrong one. So, because this has headlight washers, that is the headlight washer. I looked up the code. And here is the windscreen washer, front and rear. I could probably have gotten to it, but a lot simpler just to take the wheel off and take a whole bunch of screws off and then fold this guy back. You'll see it just folds. It's okay. It'll go back in place with a bit of persuasion. So now just, apparently, we just gotta loosen this guy, pull him up. As you can see, you got the connectors, this dual connector under there. Look, you should probably remove them first, but judging by that, I don't think there's anything in there that's gonna break the connectors if I just pull them out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna leverage it out. Just gonna have a little look-see if I can get my hand underneath there. Yeah. Okay, so I think we need to just wiggle this out. Probably gonna use two hands for that. I'll be right back with you. Go to safety. As you can see, I've got a jack stand in place. So I put the jack up a little bit higher, put the stand under, then lower the jack a little bit. The weight is still on the jack, not on the jack stand. It's there just in case. You can never be too safe when working under the vehicle. So I've just Googled it, and apparently these hoses, which you can tell are actually solid plastic, they're not rubber. Apparently they like to crack, especially around this right angle collar here, which I'm not sure if you can see in the light, that right angle collar there. So I'll be going ahead and attempting to release the locking mechanism, whatever that is, and pulling them off, and then pulling off the wire harness before pulling out the unit. That way I won't break the hoses and end up with a really expensive repair that looks like a nightmare to fit that hose line back in that loom. Another quick tip or bit of info. As you'll see, these kits are, I don't know, 25 Australian dollars on Amazon. You could use a screwdriver, but these little picks pretty invaluable for removing locking mechanisms. Definitely save you some time. These two, removing hose clamps for other jobs, fantastic. So yeah, that was pretty tricky, to be honest. You'll see on top of that tube a little black collar there. That little black collar had to pop up. Now doing that with a screwdriver would have been a nightmare. Whereas if you get this little guy in there, and you can just clip him underneath, gently pop it up, and that was it. So out with the old, in with the new. Once I disconnected the two fluid hoses and the wiring harness, which was really easy once we had that collar up, just very gently wiggled them off. Once that was off, I got my fingers underneath this and pulled it straight up. Apparently you shouldn't leverage it. It's very tempting to look to pull it out that way, but if you do that, it's likely that you're going to crack your fluid reservoir. Well, it's possible, because it'll be acting as a fulcrum right on that reservoir. So I got a Vimo. Is the part number V10080204. You should just obviously Google for your own car, and I think that's pretty clear, straightforward. White goes to blue, and black will still go to black. So this is to inspect the rubber washer. It wasn't leaking before. I'm not sure how I will inspect it. I'll have a go at that next and let you know. So yeah, look, I've got a little inspection mirror here. Again, very cheap part. So I think that's the best I can do to get a good look at it. I don't see any cracks on that rubber. I could try and pop it out and put the new one in. What do you reckon? Probably should, seeing as the new one is designed for the rubber grommet it came with. So I'm probably going to give that a go. I'll just get a little screwdriver, or get that pick underneath the rubber and pull them out. Yeah, so here's a look at the one that was in there on the right and the replacement. As you can see, the one that was in there has a little collar groove. The replacement does not. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back in. As you can see, it's in fine condition, other than the hole that I put through here as I pulled it out, but that won't cause it to leak, I don't believe. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so here's a little bit of an annoyance. Before I went ahead and put it in, this is the old one, the existing one. As you'll see, that slides really freely. Now, I'm not convinced that that would seal properly. It's a little loose. I don't know how far that sits when it's in place. As you can see, it really moves around quite easily. Possibly a slow leak. The one that came with it, it's a lot tighter. It's a lot tighter to get it in there. And then if we put the old one onto the old part, you'll see that that is actually a lot tighter on the old part. So I'm actually going to go ahead, swap this grommet over. It looks like it's probably going to pop out when you pull the old one out, that new one out, if you ever have to replace the one that you've just put in, the new one. But it looks like these two nozzles are slightly different widths. You won't be able to tell there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use the new rubber grommet with the new part. So I've popped it back in. I've got the other white one on. They really don't want to clamp on. I push them in fairly hard, pop the little collar down, but then they pop off. So I'm going to go and have a cup of tea or a coffee, take a few minutes so I'm not working on it while I'm frustrated, and then I'm going to come back, have another crack. I'm just mindful that if I push too hard, it's likely that I'll break these guys, and once they're broken, yeah, big problem. So yeah, a bit of a weird one. Now when I took this off, the clip was obviously on the outside for easy access, but this Vemo part, I'm gonna have to spin this around the other way, because the flat side is over there and the rounded side is on here. So obviously this part must be used on multiple different cars. That's going to make it interesting to get this plug off if I ever need to. But yeah, I would not recommend this Vemo part for this job based on that. Just tested it and it looks like we've got a win. Water was coming out both front and back, and I don't see any leaks. There's no water pissing out there, so I think we're good. We are good. Let's just put it all back together. Yeah, so I put it all back together. Wheel back on. Usual process. Semi-tighten the nuts, drop the car, fully tighten the nuts. Just a couple of things I'd say regarding this job. First of all, I think it's definitely a wheel-off job. You could probably get to it without doing the wheel off. But I think you'd just be risking breaking those little plastic grommets. I think, what else? Basically, as you saw, you just bend half of this back. You could probably take the whole thing off. It's not that much of a job to take the rest of the screws out, to take the wheel arch, shield, whatever you call it, off. But as you saw, I did it my way. I think patience, it's the main thing with this job. Just be patient. Those plastic hoses, very brittle. So wheel off, wheel arch cover out. I did take these two screws out of this bottom plastic fairing just to get a little bit of extra access. Pop the connector off for the electronics, gently pop up the fluid collar catches and wiggle them off gently. Just move them out of the way slightly. Do not force or bend or stretch those plastic hoses. And then you just leverage up the pump straight out, and then it's a reverse of that. I did use some dishwashing soap to lubricate the fluid hose, the one that was being a bit difficult going back on. It kept popping off. I did put some soap on and just gave it a bit extra force, and then it seemed to lock in place. So there's probably something else to consider there. And of course, before putting it all back together, it's probably best just to check that it is running, which is what I did. So good luck. It's definitely a job I think you should attempt. It's not difficult. It just takes a little bit of time because you don't want to break anything. So good luck. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll get back to you. And let me know how you go with changing your windscreen washer pump.